Hey guys, your coach James Wilson back with phase 2 of our off-season training program. We're here with workout A, starting out with our power and core circuit. We're going to start with a Turkish get-up windmill and then do a dumbbell cheat curl. So I'll show you how those look. For the Turkish get-up windmill, we're just taking our Turkish get-up to the next step. So getting started just like we've been doing in the first phase. Rolling over, two hands up in a position, arms and legs out at a 45. Up onto your elbow, good strong shoulder position. Up onto your hand, good strong shoulder position. Hips up, getting that knee underneath you. This is where we got to in the last phase. So I'm gonna adjust my angle so you can see what's going on here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push my hips over. Now as I do that, you'll notice my chest stays close to the ground. I don't sit up like this. This puts a lot of stress on the knee and is not what we're looking for. So I'm gonna push the hips over as I keep my chest down towards the ground. As soon as I feel this hand get light, I push my hips back over my knee, and that's what brings me up. And I'm gonna do that in reverse to get back down. I push the hips over and let the chest come down, and get my hand on the ground, and then I shift over. And that completes one rep. So hips come over, chest stays down. As soon as I feel this hand get light, push the hips back over. That brings me up right. I push the hips over, bring the chest down, hand comes down, bring myself back. That finishes the rep. So just repeat for however many reps you have on that day. And then when you're done, just extend the leg out, drop the hips, down to your elbow, down to your back, two hands down, switch sides and repeat. So when you're done with your get-up windmill, you're going to do your dumbbell cheat curl. So this is just the stand-up version of the kneeling dumbbell cheat curl. So everything else is the same. What we're wanting to get set, feet hip width apart this time. Obviously if it's too wide, you're gonna end up having to widen your arms or hit your legs, which neither one's what we want. So feet hip width, keeping the biceps glued to the ribs so we're not swinging the arms. Bring the butt back, chest down, coming up nice and tall. At this point I'm trying to get the top of my head as close to the ceiling as I can, driving my feet heavy into the ground. I don't want to lean back, okay? So using the hips, squeezing the glutes, nice and tall, driving the feet into the ground. Hips catch, squeeze the glutes, nice and tall, feet heavy. This is what we're looking for here. So if you've been doing a good job with your kneeling ones, these will come pretty easily. So that's your power and core circuit again. Just watch how many reps you're doing, depending upon what week you are in the phase. Our focus circuit, we've got a stagger stance squat and an inverted row. And you notice that we've added some pauses to these. So in the last phase, we were doing the 2-2 tempo. We're coming down to a count of 2, up to a count of 2, not pausing at either end. Now we're gonna come down. I'm not really concerned how fast you come down, although if you come down too fast, pausing isn't gonna work, so you'll naturally have to slow down a little bit, but we're gonna work a longer pause. And then so get rid of some of that stretch shortening cycle, work on strength from a little bit different angle there. So our first exercise is the stagger stance squat. For this one, you start with your feet hip width apart. You're gonna step slightly back and a little bit out. And so if you're looking at me from the side here, you'll see my foot is just behind my other foot here. I don't want to step too far back. This starts to turn it into a split squat, and that's not what we want. What we're looking for is single leg. I want to keep all my weight on this leg here, and this is just a kickstand. It's just here for balance. I'd rather just do this single leg, but I've got this one here to help me out a little bit. So this is what it looks like as you come down, sinking your butt down, keeping your chest up. Then you want to drive through your foot, nice and tall and thin at the top, squeezing the glute. You want to make sure your foot is nice and balanced. You don't want to feel your foot get unbalanced as you're coming down or coming up. So that means you've got your big toe knuckle, the outside edge of your foot, and your heel, all with solid contact in the ground. You want to be driving through that good solid foot. So coming down, making sure you're staying balanced on your foot, driving through that good strong foot, squeeze your glute nice and tall and thin at the top. So that's your stagger stance squat. If you feel any discomfort in this knee, in the trail leg knee, it means that you're trying to push through it. So as in like drive through that back leg. You don't want to do that. So either don't come down as far if you're using weight, you know, lighten the load, but you know, wherever you're at with it, if you're just here, that's fine. If coming down more than this starts you getting tension in that other leg and causing some discomfort in that knee, then don't worry about coming down that far. So you just want to work on your single leg strength with this. If you're gonna hold a weight, I'm gonna have you hold it in the goblet position. So that means you're gonna hold it, or not the goblet, the rack position. So you're gonna hold it up like this. So either way, if you're holding a dumbbell, a kettlebell, either one, good strong rack position. You've got your biceps in close to your ribs here, your shoulders sunk back and down. You should feel like your upper back is holding the weight here. So you're gonna hold it opposite the leg that's working. So if I'm on my right leg, I'll hold it on my left side. Everything else is the same. Coming down, driving through that strong, stable foot, squeeze the glute, nice and tall and thin at the top, just like that. So you wanna make sure you do both sides each set. Now, again, I mentioned that we wanna do a pause. So when you're coming down, you're gonna come down, pause, 2, 3, drive back up, down, pause, 2, 3, come back up. When you're in those pauses, you don't want to relax. It's not a point to relax. It's more of an isometric contraction. So you're down there, you're holding everything nice and strong and tight, and then you're going to drive out of the bottom with that tension that you're holding. And so you want to make sure that you're working that part of it. With the inverted row, you can either use a TRX, or if you don't have that, you can use a rope. Either one will work. I'll show you with the rope here actually. So you're just going to lean back, holding the rope or the TRX. You want to make sure you got a good strong plank. Don't want your head jutted forward. You're going to drive your elbows behind you. Here we're going to hold, 2, 3, back down. Drive the elbows behind you, hold, 2, 3, back down. So just like with our bat wings that we were doing, you want to drive the elbows behind you, pull the thumbs into the armpits, and we're going to hold at that position there. So now we're just working it from a different angle, got a full range of motion, but the movement itself and where you should be feeling it and driving it from is going to be the same. So that's your focus circuit. Again, just watching your reps, depending upon what week you're in, and then you move on to your secondary circuit. You've got the Bulgarian goat bag swing, which we did in the last phase, so don't need to go over that one here. We're doing 10 to 15 reps. Again, with the 3-second pause at the bottom. So I guess I will show you real quick so you see it with the pause. So you got it set here, coming down, pause, 2, 3, back up, down, pause, 2, 3, back up. So when you're down in this bottom position, this is a real good spot to check your body position. You should be balanced on your feet. You should be pulling that kettlebell in, you know, upper back nice and strong, feeling like you're holding yourself with your glutes. So that's your, again, essentially the bottom of your, or that's your attack position on the bike. So the stronger you are at that bottom position with that Bulgarian goat bag swing, the easier time you're gonna have getting into and maintaining your attack position on the bike. So you're gonna pair that up. The next one is the farmer's walk. And again, we did this one in the last phase, so there really is no reason to go over this one again. Just holding, keeping the shoulders and the breathing under control. By this point, those things should be getting better, so your grip will start to become more of the limiting factor, but you always want to make sure you're watching your breathing and your posture first and foremost. And we're doing 40 to 60 steps with that one, so picking it up a little bit. And then finally, we're going to do the no-mo push-ups. These, I call them the no momentum push-ups. These are a pretty fun push-up variation that I came across. And so for this one, what you're going to do is you're going to come down, and at the bottom position, you're going to extend your arms out to the side, bring your hands back in, and then push yourself back up to the top. Down, hands out, hands back in, drive and push. So that variation right there is really good because, again, you get the pause at the bottom, you got to stay tight, you can't work on use the bounce at all to help you out, which is just a different angle of strength that we need to work on. And plus it really reinforces that upper back position. You'll find that you have to get those shoulders set. You've got to get the lats engaged to push yourself back up off the ground and not have, you know, again, when you come back up, you want to make sure that you don't have your hips sagging. We don't want like this happening, or, you know, coming up and the butt sagging. It's got to be a good strong drive, good strong plank back up. So you'll have to get your upper back set in order to do that. And again, reinforcing that upper back position that we want on our bike, especially in the attack position. So that does it for your secondary circuit. You got 5 to 20 of those no-mo push-ups there. And when you're done with that, you got your cardio, which we're sticking with the explosive repeats. So we're just building on what we were working on last phase. So we're doing the jump squats. You can do, use the TRX if you need something to help with that. Or again, you can use a bike or rower if jump squats aren't appropriate for you. But now we're working a little bit longer. We got 10 seconds work, a little bit less rest. We got 50 seconds rest, and we're gonna work back up starting from 8 and working up to 12 sets of that. And so that does it for workout A, and I'll talk to you in the next one.